Have you heard? Maybe you've been trying to buy a house and you've had a really rough go of it. Google searches for should I buy a house and should I sell my home are at all-time highs. Nationwide, the real estate market is on steroids right now, and it feels like we are all passengers on a crazy train just tearing down the tracks full steam ahead. But why? Why is the market behaving this way? Rather than operating on some half-baked theory, let's look at the 5 driving factors that I'm seeing in play right now. Hi there, my name's Emily Farber and I'm a realtor with Leppert-Krager Realtors in Iowa City. When I'm not out there helping people buy and sell real estate in my market, I create video content all about the greater Iowa City area and real estate to help people just like you make smart decisions when it comes to buying and selling. If you would like to talk with me about your real estate needs and goals, you can find all of my contact information in the video's description box right down there. You'll also find a bunch of helpful free downloadable guides for sellers, buyers, and people looking to relocate to the Iowa City area. To find all of that stuff, you just need to tap the title of this video and that description box will pop right open. So, the world of real estate has been intense. That's actually an understatement. Most agents I know are hanging on by threads at this point, especially if they work with a lot of buyers, because it is seriously like the Hunger Games out there right now. This market's not even particularly easy on listing agents either. When everything feels like a feeding frenzy and you're trying to guide your seller to the strongest offer with what seems like a fire hose of buyers turned on in your face. There's a lot of referred stress being passed around from clients to agents to lenders and so on down the line. Realtors, lenders, and buyers are getting ragged around the edges. If you're anything like me, maybe you want to understand a bit more of the whys and hows of why we are here right now. First off, according to the mortgage finance company Freddie Mac, the U.S. housing market is about 3.8 million single-family homes short of where it is needed to meet our current demand. Part of that is due to the foreclosure moratorium, which is keeping people in houses that they may have otherwise opted to sell. But the largest contributor is new construction home building not keeping up with long-term demands. This shortage in new construction began way back in the Great Recession and was further exacerbated when many builders dialed back and laid off workers during the pandemic in 2020 because they mistakenly thought that real estate would fall flat. New construction prices now have skyrocketed due to lumber costs. Lumber costs are up almost 200% in just a year. Lumber mills experienced closures during the pandemic that resulted in lumber stock shortages at the same time of an unpredicted demand for lumber. Homeowners stuck at home began remodeling projects, additions, they put in fences, they created outdoor living spaces. Businesses looking for ways to safely stay in business expanded their outdoor seating with patio spaces, and now home builders are trying to meet the demands of buyers screaming for more inventory, all of which means everybody wants lumber. Anecdotally, from what I've heard locally, builders are seeing shocking lumber price increases. One builder said they had their lumber package come in $14,000 higher than what they were bid just a month earlier for a home that already has the foundation in the ground. And another builder mentioned having to raise the price on a new house $35,000 in 1 month due to increased building costs. Keep in mind that lumber is not just the framing of the house. Wood is used in so many applications, from trim to cabinets to siding to decks to accent walls. According to the National Association of Home Builders, the average price increase for new construction single-family homes due to the lumber shortage is about $24,000. Another factor in the new construction shortage conundrum is that the industry is plagued by a shortage of skilled tradespeople. Decades of pushing students to view college as the only option for post-high school plans has left our nation desperate for people to enter the trade fields, and the need grows larger each year as the existing trade workforce ages. Production is limited by the shortage of skilled tradespeople. Because of the rapidly rising new construction prices, many would-be buyers are opting to stay in their existing homes. They're either accepting what they currently have in terms of their house, or they're remodeling in order to make the space work better for them. The result of this stall in move-up buyers is that without these people making a move up to a larger, newer home, all of the homes that would be selling are not coming on the market, which negatively affects buyers at lower price points and first-time buyers. These are the people who would be typically drawn to smaller, older, and more affordable homes. All of this is especially impacting millennials, who are the largest segment of the US population and the largest home buying segment operating in the market today. Millennials, who range in age from 25 to 40 years old, are 75 million people strong, and they are well into their prime home buying years. For these buyers entering the market and looking for their first home, the shortage in the housing inventory and the resulting rising prices is really troubling, because that means we're looking at a whole group of people who are not able to make home purchases and who are unable to reap the financial benefits of home ownership now and into the future. 2. Some other factors leading to the current dynamics in the real estate market are pandemic related. With so many people now being able to work from home, we are seeing a reshuffling of urban areas into suburban and more rural areas. The past year has brought into stark reality the importance of home, but also the need for space at home. Space for people to be both together and apart. Space for work, space for school, space for home gyms, yard space. The concept of home as a safe space has always been there, but now it is imprinted onto our communal psyche more than ever before. The desire for a safe home to call your own is driving buyers into the market with urgency. 3. Because of the lockdown of 2020, we are seeing last year's buyers who took a pass due to all the uncertainty now actively home shopping along with this year's crop of buyers. 2 seasons worth of buyers all out and competing with each other for very limited inventory is driving prices higher and higher. 4. Another blip on the radar of why we have so many buyers out there right now is the forced savings plan of the pandemic. With nowhere to go, entertainment venues shut down, restaurant options reduced, vacations canceled, people were saving money left and right. All that money in the bank meant that once the world began to open back up, suddenly people had a pile of cash that looked a whole heck of a lot like a down payment waiting for them to do something with it. 5. And not to be ignored are the low interest rates fueling a large part of current buyer activity. When the pandemic began and the US moved into a recession, the Federal Reserve slashed interest rates, which made mortgage rates drop and kicked the housing market into high drive. Low interest rates have opened the door for people to be able to afford more house or buy a starter home where prices may have previously been out of their reach. When interest rates go down, owning a home becomes more affordable than renting. Interest rates can be a little abstract, but when you look at the actual numbers in terms of purchasing power, it is eye-opening. For instance, if you have $20,000 that you plan to put down and you want to try to keep your monthly payments around, let's say, $1,800, you could afford a house around $322,000 if you locked in at 2.75% for 30 years. If we keep all of those variables the same, except the interest rate bumps up 1 percentage point to 3.75%, you'd be looking at a house in the price range of $286,000. That's a difference of $36,000. which is enough money to make quite a difference in the houses that you are looking at. That translates into tangible things such as additional bedrooms, a third stall in your garage, a remodeled kitchen, or a more desirable neighborhood. The unpredictable nature of interest rates creates a sense of urgency in buyers, and the idea that they might lose out on this buying power drives people into making moves, literally. I'd love to hear your thoughts on our current market conditions. Leave me a comment down below. And if you're a buyer who's struggling with the real estate market right now, or someone who's thinking about jumping into the real estate market, definitely take a look at my video with 10 tips for buying in a seller's market. I'll leave a link right up there. Hey, it's been fun, and I'll catch you later.